Ready? Sirens.
Ambulance.
Ambulance. That's it? All right, we're live here on Chatter, Southwest Florida. Thank you so much for joining us. This show is sponsored by, we got to do the cheesy sponsor, Froelich, Gordon, and Beeson Law Office, located right here in Charlotte County, Florida. Carla, we want to have you. Danny's not here.
Danny had to go to Orlando for some realtor political action fundraising event. Makes a big difference.
Danny, so when you watch this, I'm going to have you just on the show by himself. Danny's coming.
He would love
Danny's
that.
coming on the show. Danny's not getting out of this. I was excited to see him, and I think I met him just in passing. So same with you also. I mean, we've talked about that in brief, and just so the folks watching the show at home, we didn't chat before. We didn't prep any questions, which are right behind your head here. Zero, nothing. What is going on here? So I'm going to turn it over to you because you were explaining a couple of things about your business that I'm not sure of or understand what you were saying. So
Sure.
Go ahead and explain. Tell us about your company and what's going on.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, Danny and I have been realtors in the area for a while, and last November we actually opened up our own brokerage, which is Nix Associates Real Estate right here in downtown Punta Gorda. We serve all of Southwest Florida with both residential, commercial, and vacant land real estate needs. So we all have very specific roles within that, and then as a part of our brokerage, we are very team focused. So we have groups of realtors who come and form a team or individual agents that work at Nix Associates, and our largest team at Nix Associates is the Nix Team. Which,
gotcha. So that was the confusions were in. So there's like an umbrella
brokerage.
A brokerage, and then there's a teams which is inside of it. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So today, the Nix Team is here, a part of us, because of course, like we said, Danny is on his way to Orlando to advocate for political action, so he'll be back at the end of the week. But of course, we've got the whole residential team here, minus our support staff who we miss. They're back at the office.
Shout out.
Vandy Blaine and Teresa Mays. We love you guys. Thanks for holding the fort down.
They're holding it down.
Yeah.
Where's the office at?
Our
Where's it
office,
located?
it's just around the corner of Sullivan and Virginia. We're at 403 Sullivan Street, Suite 114 here in Punta Gorda.
Gotcha.
So, but of course, in real estate, we all work out of our homes, our offices, coffee shops, wherever we can go. That needs cars a lot.
Yeah, lots of cars.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but with me today, I just wanted to introduce to you, so now that you've got kind of the differentiation between Nix and Associates and the Nix Team.
Right.
The rest of the team that's here, is that okay?
Gotcha. All right, let's do it. Let's introduce. We know Beverly, of course. We could talk about Beverly. Susan, because we got the name. We can go through it. Go ahead.
Sure. So with the team concept, our whole focus is on client experience. So we want to be sure that we have really specialized and focused on each specific customer's needs. And so what we do when we get a new referral or someone that calls us from one of our listings online, or however they get to us, we get to know them, and then we match them with, if they're buying, with the best buyer's agent that meets their needs. And so all three of these beautiful ladies work with our buyers directly that come to the Nix Team for support in purchasing any sort of real estate. So Beverly Back, Susan Klein, and Sean Freeland, who's our newest addition, all three work very well. That doesn't mean that they don't interact with listing clients as well, but those people ultimately come to me because I manage all of our seller interactions and work directly with their marketing efforts and making sure we get their homes sold.
Well, like you're saying, match. So if a lead comes on in and you're trying to match them up, how would you actually match them?
That's a great question. So we try to get to know them. We want to know what they're looking for. Each of our buyer's agents have areas of expertise and also personality styles that are different. That's what's so great, is that we have, I think, someone who can really connect with various personality styles, various needs, and so it's not one size fits all in this business, again, because we want that client experience or that customer experience to be epic. And so you can expect that somebody who's maybe very analytical, very detail oriented, that will match up with a buyer's agent who is perhaps extra overtly gregarious. Those don't always mix as well. So we have the ability to really hone in on those details up front and then put it together so that it's an excellent experience all the way.
Let's see. If you were to match a client with Susan, what type of client would you match
That's
with
a
Susan?
great
You're
question.
put on the
So,
spot right
sure,
now.
that's okay. So Susan lives.
What are her strengths? Yeah, like
Yeah.
how would you? Okay.
Great question. So Susan has a background in luxury real estate. Her husband actually was a luxury builder in the Chicago area. And so Susan, of course, has a lot of knowledge relative to new construction, but also for waterfront property. She actually lives in Punta Gorda Isles, just down the street from our model. We represent Charlotte Harbor Construction, and so she's just down the road from there. And so if we have somebody that's coming into this area specifically or that's looking for a luxury waterfront, usually they connect with Susan. The other thing, I have to be very careful how I say this, so I appreciate you putting me on the spot. But forgive me if it seems like I'm stammering. I want to say this exactly right. Different personality styles, especially folks that are retired, very detail-oriented, are perhaps going to take several visits here to get exactly what they want. Susan is really, really good at nurturing those folks, picking up on the details, making sure that nothing is missed along the way so that they become part of our family, which is awesome.
That's like Chris back there. Yeah. Those zeros and ones is kind of what I call that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly
I'm
right.
picking up an accent.
Yeah.
Where's that coming from? It sounds like I'm hanging out with Chris here.
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
You're from Atlanta, Georgia. All right.
Yeah.
So he's an Arkansas boy. So you're
That's a true Southerner. I'm a
Atlanta,
Southern belle.
Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. All right. Yeah, I can definitely tell that coming out. Let's get into a couple of questions. I guess y'all can chime in on this if you choose to. All right. So the first question I was going to ask you was, what gets you up in the morning? What inspires you? You get up in the morning. We all have our anchors. There's something that we do every single morning. You get up. What is yours? And then I'd like to hear
Coffee.
yours.
No.
Coffee.
I know what you
outside
mean.
of that
Yeah.
side of those, like some people go outside. Like I think we had a guest here that said that they just sit outside with their dog. They go outside for an hour. They just
Okay.
relax.
Carla and I are the morning people.
We are.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon for us to be on the
Yeah.
phone at 6:00 in the morning
Some of us
talking
just don't
about
wanna
what's
wake up.
going.
Yeah.
We are definitely the early birds. For all of us.
Bever's like, no, I'm not.
No.
Yeah.
I like Bever. No, she's like,
It's okay.
1
and
o'clock in
that-
the morning, we're up selling. We're
That's
hanging out.
right.
That works
I
out
have to
really
be.
well.
Kids make you get up in
yeah.
the morning. Yeah, I do
so-
get up, but I don't
So
enjoy it.
yeah, so what you get up and there's something that inspires us to have that great day. I just had that a couple of days ago. I was out with my buddies and I was just had that blessed feeling, like just a tremendous amount of empowerment. And I always go back to when those days happen, what inspired me that morning to give me that push.
Right.
So I'm curious to see, what gives you all that push?
That's a
What is
great
it?
question. Well, I start as many mornings as possible. I wish I could say every morning, but in the Word, I really do like to just kick off the day with a devotion that helps me kind of get centered on meeting people's needs the right way. I think there's a right and a wrong way to do business, and certainly even in our business model, just like our church's motto, we love God and love others, and so we just want to do the right thing and start out the day by just being focused on that. And then I exercise, and that makes a big difference. Helps kind of get your to-do list organized, and then we're off to the races. So, but just being able to help other people is really what it's all about, and that's what
Happiness.
gets us going day after day.
Once you find that, it's remarkable, isn't
Yeah,
it? When you find that, you tune in. I mean, I'm still going through the growth process of it, but I don't think there's any greater feeling, internally when you help someone truly with that good intent with it. It's just a remarkable feeling.
That's
Let's go
right.
down the line too. What anchors you?
Of course I have kids, so I have to get up in the morning and deal with the kids and the dogs. But I think really what gets me going every day is this town is so incredible. We are so blessed to have this little quaint charm of Punta Gorda and Port Charlotte. But what I love about it and what really gets me going is how giving people are in town.
They
And-
are, yeah.
absolutely.
And, and just, it really is, people are really nice and very generous and genuine here. So
Yeah.
that's kind of
Yeah.
what gets me going and rolling and makes me want to give back more
Yeah.
to the town.
I actually noticed that. I noticed that when I met Bev, because I mean I was around town and doing things, but I was so head down within work. And I remember coming in and she introduced me to people, and I was like, whoa, Celtic Ray. Just going over there, I was like, they're really nice people.
Yeah.
Like
It's
it
a
just
good town.
Kevin and them. Like I was like, wow, once you open your eyes up to it and you allow it to come in, it really opens up a lot for you. But yeah,
I think
It's
that's
special.
why it's important when you take your customers out that you show them and tell them about Punta Gorda
Right.
because they don't know, and unless someone who knows about it could talk about the people, the places to go, what everyone does, the charities, I think that's very important, and that's what makes them like it. as much as I do, because they're like, oh, you really love it here.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I was when I first moved here from the Chicago area, but I really do. I wouldn't be anywhere
Chicago,
else.
okay,
So,
because I can
yeah.
hear an accent
Yeah.
coming out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I told you.
Now I can hear the accent.
Yeah.
Bev, how about you?
Well, I mean, I've been here 20
since you
years.
wake up later, though.
Yeah,
so.
I do wake up later. But I've been here just on about the town. I've been here 20 years, so I feel like people are family, even though they're really not family, but they feel like family. So everything they said is true. Definitely not a morning person. Not at all.
Well, what anchors the day? I mean, it can happen at noon too. It
Yeah,
can happen at
I get
any
up and I
time.
get moving, but I just love going into this office. These are such great people. I
Yeah.
love being surrounded by them because there's just so much positive, just reinforcement. It's just a good group of people to be around because we
Sure.
really do care about the customer. That's the number one focus. So just being able to be associated with these people, I'm so happy to be a part of the Nix team.
Yeah.
Aw, we love you. He's so
And you
sweet.
definitely have a
So-
gem. I mean, she's a good person.
I know.
Good person. Yeah, for sure.
It's part of the litmus test to work at our company. You gotta give back to the community, and you gotta
Yeah.
have that core, desire.
Someone did say to me, does Danny and Carla hire anyone that doesn't have an accent? I was like, I think so.
I don't think about you having an accent.
Not really.
No.
No.
You need to get one. We gotta get you one.
Well, she has one. It's just there's none. It's called
Yeah,
none.
Florida.
It's called Florida Cracker.
Yeah.
Florida Cracker.
All right, let's get into this. This was really structured towards Danny, but I'm going to ask you as well.
Sure.
You're an entrepreneur.
Right.
Let's just call it it. When was that moment? Because I remember mine. That one time when it hit me, and it's like, I will suffocate to death working 9 to 5. I can't do it.
Right.
I just can't do it. So, and I remember that moment. I was sitting in that office, and I said, "No, this is not going to work for me." So, when was that moment when you said, "No, it's not going to happen,"
Yeah.
and then you were going to take the leap? Because taking the leap is risky.
It
Because
is.
you're giving up every security blanket that you can ever imagine.
Right.
Unless, well, yeah, you pretty much are. Because as much, even if you walk into something that's good, you can still dive.
Right.
So,
That's a great question. I know for sure Danny and I would have different answers, but for me, I grew
kind of
up.
wish Danny was here.
I know, I miss him. Hi, he's been traveling a lot this
I
week.
keep saying that.
But for me, I knew at a very young age. Anybody that knows me well knows I'm kind of an old soul. I've had a job since I was 13. I've never stopped working since then, and I primarily worked outside a lot in the beginning of that time frame, and knew kind of immediately that a desk job was just not for me.
So when you were working
And-
in the desk job, was that tension always there? Did you
Always,
get that?
yeah. I was like, okay,
Antsy-
when can I get out and
anxious?
have an appointment to go see people? I've
I'm the
always
same
been in
way.
some version of sales, although not always with real estate. And so I've been very blessed to have the opportunity to go out and be calling on clients and be doing things even in my corporate history before getting into real estate. But for us to change that question just a little bit, we had made the decision. Danny and I have always wanted to own our own company, and when you're a realtor, you kind of do that already. So we had the Nix team, even before opening Nix and Associates, but we suffered quite a bit of loss, and so we lost Danny's dad and then the two people who raised me all within a period of 2.5 years. And it really kind of aligned our focus of the mentality of, well, I'll do that later. I'll do that when it feels right. I'll make that big leap of faith when it's a little more convenient.
Sure.
And it really aligned our visions both together to say, now's the time. We keep putting things off, both professionally and personally. You can't do that. You have to just absolutely, feel that conviction and take that
You
big, great
do.
leap of
Oh,
faith.
you definitely have to. And and for you three too, it's kind of, you're independent. You're an entrepreneur. It's like your own business within the business. I mean, there's back end support
Right.
from the company, but Bev, I mean, for you, when it was like, okay, it's time to roll.
Well, I was a realtor back in 2005, and I loved it back then. And then, of course, the economy kind of went, So it was kind of like I was always waiting to get back in. So I was so excited when I finally decided to do that at the beginning of the year, and then I found my home. So,
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah, thank you.
But that leap of faith, it definitely is. Was there I guess I'm going to pull it out of you. Was there one defining moment, like when you were sitting somewhere and it just hit you? Do you remember a place or?
Again,
There
the
is, though. I mean,
filter, moves through my mind a little bit.
There's those times when, you don't want to call out anybody or anything, but there are times when it's just.
Well, I am a very marketing-driven person, so that's why I think you and I connect in a lot of ways because of that. And that was my background before owning our real estate business, and so I am really hyper-focused on the message, and I want to be sure that whatever we're doing, that message rings loud and clear and consistently to our clients. And there was a point at which I felt like the culture was not quite where, in my mind, we wanted to be. We really wanted a heavy philanthropic component in our company to be able to give back in a bigger way than what we were able to do at that time. And we also wanted to be able to share that message and share our faith within that message. Right. So I think that was another part of the catalyst. But really losing our parents, the people that were so valuable to us, really that was the moment when the grief fog cleared, that we said, it's now. Now we're going to do this.
The freedom too, yeah. I can kind of hear the freedom is like the reward with it. I'm such a junkie about the climb, the process. I mean, the rewards come secondary, but the process of climbing and always developing, and you got to be quick to. It's cliche. Nix. When it doesn't work, you got to nix it. You got to nix it.
We hear that every now and again.
Okay, I'm sure you do. But if things aren't working, within the business or an angle, or if these commercial things, if you're selling a property that's just not within your wheelhouse, or if the staff is just can't grasp around it, you got to cut that and go on to something else quick. And that's and I've noticed that with your team as well, because I follow. I've been following every step of the way. I follow all of the rewards and the folks in town that just continuously talk about you. Someone else a couple days ago just talked about you guys.
Awesome.
You don't want to hear what they said. But, it was bad. I'm going to ask about failures. We're going to get into that. Deep, dark failures.
Sure.
But we're going to have to break for commercial.
Okay.
So,
awesome.
Be back here in Chatter, Southwest Florida. 30 seconds. Stay tuned.
Westchester Golden Diamonds.
We're back here in Chatter, Southwest Florida, and we were going to talk about failures. Okay, so what I want to know is the time, that one time when you hit rock bottom, where you're like, this is just not going to work. This is not going to work. I'm just tired of it. I just want to clam up and just go away. Shaking your head. We'll start with you here. Give me an experience, when that happened. It could have been, years ago. Could be
failures in terms of why I wanted to get into real estate, of what I wanted to realize when I go
business. We'd like to know more about you, of course, okay. But just you can share whatever.
So I
you
would
want.
say, and it'll kind of it's going to answer both. It's going to circle around what was that moment when I decided to jump into real estate. So I've been doing this for 15 years, and I worked for my family had a big communications corporation. And I'm the youngest of 4 brothers. I'm the only girl. And it just got to the point of there were too many chiefs.
Yeah.
And
alphas.
Yes. And I did not want to see my brothers anymore over the weekend. It just, work would go home and we would see each other over the weekend and talk about work. And I just said, I really just want to have my own identity, not the family business identity anymore.
Sure.
So
they all worked for the same business, so it was
yes.
He was coming home at night, coming home on the weekends, coming home everywhere.
Because I started to feel like, gosh, I'm failing at having this great relationship that I could be having with my family. Something's got to change. I got to get out of this.
And that was where you felt that,
yeah.
Let's go down the line here.
Oh,
Susan,
a
rock bottom story.
Think about that.
if you need some time, we'll go to Beverly. There's a time when you were just like.
I'm usually really positive, but I did have a time in my life where I was working in a law office as a paralegal, and that's kind of like what you said. I realized, being at a desk from 9 to 5 every day is just going to just kill my soul. Mm-hmm. And so that was just a realization that I wasn't cut out for the corporate 9 to 5 type world, and I got out of it. And I've always kind of been in marketing sales since. So real estate is actually kind of perfect for me because you kind of do make you don't make your own hours. We all know that.
That's a very common misconception.
But you are not tied to a desk. So,
right.
I realized that I was definitely not cut out for any kind of a corporate structure.
Yeah, no, I understand. Okay, to you.
For me, it's
give
probably
me something juicy.
This is juicy, but it's unusual because
and then we're coming back to you, so we didn't forget.
I don't have anything juicy.
For me, it's maybe something a little bit unusual. because I was so focused on our business when I very first became a realtor here in this area, I was head down, get it done, every hour of every day. I mean, people, again, that know me know I work about 120 hours a week on purpose. It's because I really do love it that much. But that's not good. That's not really healthy.
I can debate with that because it is. Because if I'm not doing the same thing, I'm suffocated. Again, it's kind of like reverse, and you have to have that balance at home as well as at work.
Right. And the balance is the tricky part. When you talk about kind of the negative side of a personality style like that, that's so hyper focused on goals and getting to the climb, like you referred it to. My second year in the business, I ended up closing about $25 million worth of business by myself. And if you've been through a lot of real estate transactions, whether it's a $2,000 lot purchase or a $2 million home sale, the steps are pretty much the same. The clients change and their needs and communication demands are different, but the work required to go from beginning to look to closing and even beyond meeting their needs with vendors they might need to connect with or whatever, all of that takes a lot of time and a lot of demand on you emotionally and physically.
I'm sure it is. I could see.
And to do that as one person is just impossible, to do it well and to make people feel like they're the only person in your world, and it has negative consequences for you family wise. I know Danny and my kids didn't see me hardly at all. My extended family didn't see me at all. It was a very you really self-analyze and go, okay, why am I doing this? I want to help all these other people, but I'm not helping my people at home, my family, by chasing this dream and this vision. And so that really was kind of the catalyst that helped us get very serious about the Nix Team's expansion. Danny had his real estate license almost immediately after me, and he was able to serve as my backup, but really thinking about the division of responsibility and getting that right so that we could have more specific teammate experiences so that we can all live and we can all contribute outside of just doing real estate deals. It's important, and it's a part that I think gets missed because a lot of people try to do everything all by themselves, and then they spiral down to this awful low point and don't know how to fix it.
They call that's working in versus working out.
That's exactly right.
It comes to a point I cannot be behind the camera at this moment. I can't do it all. So yeah, it's very.
And you love it, but you have to figure out.
I wish I could, but you just can't.
Right.
I don't have 90 arms to go all over the place and figure it out. But the 120 hours, I want to go back to that. 120 hours, a week, give or take, we'll say. I'm from the school where it's the quality over the amount of time.
Right.
Meaning, you can have a parent that spends every single minute with their kid, but they're nose down and on their cell phone.
Right.
Whereas, you can spend an hour and give that quality time.
Right.
And it's being present
right.
with it. So there's a lot of people who want to judge and say you work too many hours.
Right.
They have no idea the amount of time. So when I do have that 1 hour, it is one-on-one. It is a maximum amount of quality time that you could potentially give. So what you're saying is you were spending a lot of time, so the quantity and the quality was not there.
Right.
And you sacrificed a lot where you were like, okay, it's time to change.
Boundaries. You got to have boundaries. There's a great book by Andy Stanley that talks about boundaries in a lot of different ways, and that helps personally, but also in business. Just like you said, we do have times at our house where the phone is down. Yes, I get up at 5 a.m. and I start working immediately, but when it's time to spend 30 minutes having coffee with my daughter before she goes to high school, the phone is off. We're talking about what's important with her, but then we're back to the races as soon as she's on the bus, getting whatever else needs to be done. And the same is true for you guys too. We've all got kids.
So if you're up at
families.
5, text Ben around 6 a.m.
Never. She will not respond.
She'll be wide-eyed and ready to roll.
But she'll text me at 10:30, and thankfully
She's
I'm
like,
still up at night,
She's
and
like,
she's got really detailed questions at 10:30, and I'm a little brain dead. So
Hey, I got some leads.
I do get up at 5:45 to get my daughter out of bed because I literally have to shovel her up out of the bed. But
she's like, hey, I got leads. Let's go. Let's get this thing going.
Yeah.
You're not off the hook yet. Rock bottom. Just something when I say.
I'm not on a rock bottom.
Not rock bottom,
so
but
easy.
there's always a turning point. There's always a failure in someone's life. There's something, or we constitute it as. But then again, what y'all are saying, I've been through the same thing. So it's not really a failure. It's just at that moment it feels like it. But the abundance mindset changes that.
Talk about Chicago. Talk about with Tom and how you guys kind of changed gears and what brought you here.
Oh, okay.
There we go. See?
Okay, so I wasn't doing this. I wasn't selling real estate in Chicago, but my husband was. he was a contractor, started out with luxury homes and then went into the commercial business. And when everything fell apart, we kind of lost a lot.
It was
like
like
everyone
2007, 8, 9 ish, somewhere
yes,
there.
yeah, like everyone else. And,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, we kind of plugged along and did our thing. But an opportunity came here to come here and start building, because things started picking up more here than they did in the Chicago area in the building business. So that was very hard on me because I'm very close to my family. But you got to do what you got to do. I mean, he moved here first without me, and he'd come home every 3 weeks, and then finally it's like, I had to just be with my husband. My kids are like, why aren't you living with Dad? You know, and I'm like, well, I just got to. So we sold our house and came here, but I didn't want to do anything for, you know, right away until I knew everything was okay over here. And then
Sure,
I came
sure.
this way. So that was kind of, I mean, it wasn't a failure or anything. It was just something that happened that we had to grow from and move on. So, but I'm a very kind of easygoing person. I just kind of go with the flow. I don't like change a lot. So, but yeah, I just kind of.
Yeah, so
do what
that's
I wanna
really,
do.
and
Yeah.
it's like, you know, it's amazing too how, you know, again, we go into that and we think about it, but it's stepping stones. You know, when you think about it years after, it's like, if I didn't go through this stage or this part of my life, I would
Oh,
not,
yeah.
I would never be where I'm at. Sometimes it's short and it's quick, but sometimes it takes, you know, a longer period of time. I just had lunch with my friends and we were discussing and we were talking about, the blessings, or, you know, things that are happening to us. So we call it that. We're very blessed with
Right.
things, and just recently, over like 6-7 months, like, it's just amazing how it's just happening.
Right.
And I'm kind of pinching myself, but yet at the same time, I'm like, it's going to end. And, you know, they had to tell me and say, you've been through some bad times too in your life. You can go all the way back to years. I mean, there's struggles that I've had. So it's you know, depending on your mindset, at the time you're in it, it's small. But over a 10-year period, it's like, that was just a blip. But if I didn't go through this, I would never be here.
Yeah.
Ever.
Right.
Never.
You're right.
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
iron
But it's just-
sharpening iron.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, but I always say that to myself, just like this morning. I'm driving here. You know, I mean, how fortunate it is to be able to come here and meet people and hang out with friends and just be able to do these certain things. But I'm waiting for it to end. But it doesn't have to ever end. You know, you kind of wait
Yeah.
for it. You kind of say,
Right,
all right,
right.
when it,
Yeah.
like
Things are
something
going
bad
too
is going to
good.
happen. Like somebody,
Things are
no,
going
unfortunately,
good. Something's going to stop us.
yeah, we had a couple of guests on, and then, you know, one of Scott was afraid. They sell homes.
Right.
It's Newcomb.
Scott and Heather.
Newcomb.
Mhm.
He was so
Great
funny.
people.
If you haven't seen that show, Scott, he's so funny. But his thing was the dog. The dog is 12, so he's like, we're just waiting for the dog to die. Like something is going to happen to the dog, and he just is like, I mean, she's like, well, we'll use every credit card and everything we have to keep the dog healthy.
Sounds like a familiar
and then
conversation.
he just turns and he's like, there's perils everywhere. There's hawks, and there's so his biggest fear is the dog, you know. But it's just but there's those blessings that are happening that we're kind of waiting for it to happen. But, you know, keep in mind, we got a long life.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 42 years old. I got a long way to go.
That's
I
right.
got a long way to go. I am still young. They're giving me all kind of numbers and things over here. We got 3 minutes left. So we're going to go through the lightning round right now.
Okay.
I set up 4 words right over your head over there. You didn't see them, did you? Pete, I got 4 words, so I'll ask each of you a word, and the first thing that comes to mind.
Oh gosh.
First thing that comes to mind. Now, these were sporadic. I literally voice text these words when I was driving over the bridge coming in this morning.
Okay.
So that was, I kind of
Oh,
waited
God,
for that.
this is gonna be
Well, I'm just going to go down the line. So
Susan's
I'll
scared.
ask you first. Lightning round, first thing that comes to mind. If you wait too long, you fail.
No pressure. No pressure.
You got 3 seconds.
You didn't tell me this.
I
was
didn't
gonna-
know. I didn't know.
This is our lightning round. This is great. Then I have another question after that. So we'll extend it further, just a tiny bit. Ready? Sirens.
Ambulance.
Ambulance. That's it? That's like what
I think that's a good answer.
Or you can elaborate. No, I'm
Accident.
just teasing. All right. Blue.
Sky. The sky.
Are we not playing your game
No,
right?
you are. No, this is Beverly.
Oh God.
This falls to you. Heartbreak.
Heartbreak. I had to give up a kitten just recently. That made me sad.
Oh, okay.
She didn't get along with the other kitties. They were always fighting, and
Did
everyone
y'all,
wasn't happy.
did you guys know about that?
Yeah.
Oh, you did. You did.
Yeah.
Okay. And yours is misunderstood.
Oh, wow. So I'm not a one-word answer kind of person.
I knew it. See, that's for a laugh. Sit back.
Misunderstood.
Let me grab my coffee. Go ahead.
Sure. I think a lot of times our approach, because we're so different, is misunderstood. And
When you say your approach, your brand?
our brand and our approach to real estate in the community.
But you're not-
We love working with people.
Don't be inside. You know, as Bev knows, we say this all the time. When you're inside the glass, you
Yeah.
can't read the label.
Right.
So I got to tell you, your approach is spot on.
Thank you.
Spot on. No, don't.
So
don't-
maybe that's not misunderstood, and
it's
that's
not.
internal.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm correcting you, but all right, no,
That's
no, no.
okay.
Your
Yeah.
feelings are yours, but
Yeah.
by no means is your brand misunderstood. You're progressive. You're out there. You're everywhere. If I was looking, it'd be the first call, without a doubt.
Thank you.
I'm not trying to offend anyone else who watches this, who sells homes. I have friends that sell homes and stuff, but yeah, your name is top of mind.
Thank you.
The
We
color,
appreciate
design, everything. It's
Thank you.
done perfectly.
That means a lot from
It does.
a marketing guru
I
like
wouldn't-
yourself.
I mean, the only thing I would recommend is do a show.
Yeah.
You have this this magnificent team, -1. I don't know where he's
I
at.
know.
We need like
no.
a picture of him.
I know. I should have brought him
Well,
on a
we should've
stick
brought-
like
yeah.
Kelly did.
Well, there's actually more too as well. But yeah, I mean, you can do a show, a weekly show right out of the office. Bev can do it for you. She knows what's
Oh,
up.
gosh,
Bev
no.
knows what's up. She can.
Carla's amazing. She
program it.
that.
I love to Facebook Live,
Yeah,
maybe
she's
ad
a rock
nauseum
star.
Facebook
sometimes.
Live right now. Last question: what was the last purchase that you spent a ridiculous amount of money on?
Oh my gosh, my dog surgery. If we're going to tie that into anything, talking about being animal lovers, all of us are.
Was it in the thousands?
Oh yeah.
I don't want my dog.
well
See?
north. Yeah.
Scott was right
yeah,
about that.
almost 9. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
But if anybody that knows our precious Stafford knows it was money well spent. But we know Scott and Heather are friends of ours, and that
Close to
conversation,
9,000?
yeah, just under 9,000. Danny could tell you to the penny. If he was sitting here, he's my numbers guy.
If we give a shout out to,
Yeah.
to like the vet, would they credit you back some?
No, but they are wonderful. If you did, I don't know if I can say, but SVS down at Fort Myers did
Mm-hmm.
an incredible job. It was a really difficult thing, and he's like our child.
How old?
He's only 6. He'll be 7 in November, so it was
my
worth
puppy's
it.
6.
Yeah.
And Chris just lost his dog about a
so
week ago.
sorry.
They had to put him down, so condolences, buddy.
sorry.
I don't really mention it much. Yeah, I was emotional too for him too.
not-
Yeah, his dog was sweet.
I'm so sorry.
He was
But-
12.
Yeah, he was 12. He's a year older than our oldest son, so he was our first child.
Yeah.
He grew up
Yeah.
through
Oh,
your
you're like an
marriage.
all crying about a minute.
But I can totally relate. It's a tough thing. So
Okay, so
not
surgery
a fun. It wasn't
on
a car or anything awesome.
Surgery- We had Kevin Graham in here, and what did he say? He said his
He just
Jaguar.
got a really beautiful
his-
SUV,
and
yeah.
his boats. He said
Yeah.
he bought a boat. I said, all right.
He's had a big summer.
Yeah, his car. I think he's in Vegas, or he's back from
He's
Vegas.
back.
He was just
yeah.
out in Vegas.
He
so.
was just with us all last night.
Kevin was. Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Kevin was great on this show. That was
Yeah.
the first
Yeah.
time that I ever met Kevin.
He's a great
We
guy.
just clicked. We
Yeah,
just
he
talked.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm, he is.
All right.
Um,
Ridiculous amount of money.
this is going to be a plug, but and it's family
it.
money. But Dave, my husband, and I, who we're opening up the Belgian Monk,
Right,
which is a pub right down the street from here. So we sunk a lot of money into that. But
So free
gonna be
drinks.
great.
Free drinks for the first month, I heard.
yeah.
So
Hey, we're actually going to
Belgian
have a
Monk.
party
when
with
that opens
Beverly.
up,
Yes.
come
yeah.
on in.
Yes.
We'll definitely do a show. We're live there.
Yeah,
we can go
talking
out there
about
and do
that's
something.
awesome.
We can go
Yeah,
live,
we can
live
go
on
leap-
location.
Leap of faith.
Yeah.
Pour a couple of drafts. I'm sure it's going to be craft beers and everything.
Craft beer,
IPAs.
Belgian food, and Dave. Everybody loves Dave.
Everybody loves
Yeah.
Dave.
So-
You still got the beard.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yes.
I'm
I
not
need
allowed to
some
grow it.
scissors.
I'm not
He
allowed
cut
to
his
grow
hair
it.
though. No ponytail
Hipster.
anymore. Yeah. Yeah.
Hipster hairstyle. He's rocking it.
I have to get a haircut, Dave.
He's
Yeah.
looking good.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, for you, Miss Susan.
Probably our boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we bought a house too.
That's a condition of the
It was
business.
like
I mean, it
half the
could be
boat,
anything.
and then
We-
this house came up that we couldn't pass up, so we're like, okay,
just-
let's do the house too.
I'm just curious what people spend,
Yeah.
because to each their own. We had a guest here, Jeff. He said he spent it was dinner at Prime, like his family, like that
Oh,
for him.
love
It
that
wasn't a lot of
place.
money, but it was
Yeah.
a lot to him and his family
a
spending
lot,
that
yeah.
time because he's always studying.
Right.
He's always doing stuff for his business and young life and on and
Tomas.
on. Yeah,
Yeah, great. guy.
Jeffrey Tomas. Yeah. Okay.
I gotta
Your
be
turn.
careful. I don't want to get in trouble. So
That Chris knows about. You should add. But you spent money on that your husband knows about.
Was it a Nissan?
So I will say, and this is going to be kind of a plug too, that I'm in Dancing with the Stars this year.
Right,
And
right.
last night we gave up a $5,000 donation.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
for
nice.
for me, and so
Yeah.
So
That's
that was
a
the
lot of
most
coin.
recent thing.
Yeah.
That's a lot of coin
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something.
But
yeah.
that's selfless because it goes to Charlotte Arts and Humanities.
Right.
It
Right.
doesn't, you know.
Right.
It's for a great
Yeah.
cause, and so
Yep.
That's
And
awesome.
that was held last night at Donato's.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I have a
I was
great
going
team,
through the social
obviously.
media.
They're all part of my team. And
Yeah.
we raised $20,000 in 3 hours.
Wow.
That's
That was,
epic.
that was awesome.
I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah.
a record.
And there's only
have
going to be,
to-
and
It
there's
is
only
a
going to
record.
It's a
be more
record.
coming as well because
Yes.
now it's revealed. So each person now raises, right?
Yes.
Because I did get, I gave like the last group. Was that Dancing with the Stars?
Yeah.
When Donna was on it.
That was
And
a couple
Dennis-
years ago. Danny was last year.
Dennis, the owner of Dennis or Dave? No, Dennis.
I think that was a couple years ago.
Valentino. Was that a couple years ago already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun.
So if
Okay.
anybody wants to
What
support
about
me
you?
with Dancing with the Stars, go to
Yeah.
www.dancingwiththecharlottestars.com.
I can check my bomb bomb.
Next year. You
Oh,
just,
my
put
God.
it, you just put it out
I
to
can
the
check my
universe.
bomb bomb. I can check the bomb bomb.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it just depends because I'm. Oh gosh, I'll put this out over the air. I'm actually moving.
What?
I'm moving like 2 weeks.
To
Well, I'll be
North
traveling half and half. I'll talk to you after.
Okay.
But I'll be going back and forth every single month. I spend 2 weeks
Wow.
here, 2 weeks there, 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there.
Was
So
that your big purchase? Because you get to answer too, right?
It was a. It's about to be, yes, the biggest purchase of my life.
Cool.
And
Congratulations.
Scared, yeah. It's scary,
Scary good.
yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
So-
Well, thanks for sharing that.
Well, you know what? This ends Chatter. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much to see you guys and coming on in and talking and
Thank you for
getting to
having
know
us.
you.
Thank you.
Definitely
Yeah,
want Danny
it
to
was
come
fun.
in. So, Danny, when you do watch this, we're going to have you come in. I want him on the show by himself.
It'll be the
Okay.
day
We're gonna sit
show.
over
You
there.
will have
Yeah.
so much fun. He
gonna
is
sit,
amazing.
We're going to sit over there in the man cave kind of
Yes.
Yeah.
the, the wall. Chris is so proud of it. He set that up all nice. But
That might be your first 2-hour show because Danny loves to talk. He can talk about anything. It's quite remarkable.
I've never sat down with Danny.
Yeah.
I'm just getting to know so many faces, so many people who I see, and it's just, yeah, this is a blessing. So,
Yeah, thank
but
you
thank
for
you so
asking.
much, and everyone
Thank you.
watching, thank you so much for joining us on Chatter Southwest Florida. We'll have all your links and everything right here above. The edited version will be coming out later today, so we'll have that as well.
Wonderful.
We'll have a commercial, so you might not want to see commercials. We have sponsors, but not, yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome people. Your sponsors are great.
Frolic Gordon Beeson. Kelly was
Love
on.
Kelly. Love
Oh,
her.
she's awesome.
I found out I was at their offices yesterday.
Did you play ping pong?
I didn't go in the back. I was with Jay. But I found out when Kelly sat right here, she was like, she said, well, what I heard, she was so nervous where she was like, she couldn't even speak.
Really?
It was really nerve wracking for
Yeah.
me. I'm like, come on, this is just, we're just hanging out, having fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us here again, Chatter Southwest Florida. We'll see you next time.